Look, we all know the feeling. It's 2 a.m., the house is dead silent, and you make the mistake of booting up a game that you know you shouldn't be playing alone. But you do it anyway, because we are addicted to the adrenaline. We are addicted to the fear. Today, we aren't just looking at spooky games. We are looking at the 19 best PlayStation horror experiences that are biologically engineered to ruin your sleep schedule. I'm talking about AI that learns your moves, graphics that look so real they're disturbing, and stories that will mess you up psychologically. From AAA blockbusters pushing the PS5 to its absolute limit, to indie gems that prove you don't need a budget to be terrifying. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and let's get into it. We are starting strong with the undisputed king of stress. Alien Isolation isn't just a game, it's a simulation of being hunted. Developed by Creative Assembly, this game nailed the lo-fi sci-fi aesthetic of the 1979 movie perfectly. We're talking about chunky CRT monitors, flickering lights, and steam venting from pipes. It looks incredible, even today. But the real next-gen feature here, the thing that was years ahead of its time, is the Xenomorph AI. This thing isn't scripted, it has two brains, one that knows where you are, and one that controls the body and is giving clues by the first brain. That means it learns. If you hide in lockers too much, it starts ripping lockers open. If you use the flamethrower, it learns to bait you. You are constantly playing a game of chess with a perfect killing machine. The sound design is Oscar-worthy. You can hear the alien moving into vents above you. It creates this constant state of paranoia that never lets up for the entire 20-hour campaign.
I mean, if we are able to save even just a small piece of ourselves, why wouldn't we do that?
Next up, we have SOMA from Frictional Games. These are the guys who invented the modern run and hide genre with Amnesia, but SOMA is on a whole other level. It runs on their proprietary HPL Engine 3, and the physics interactions are insanely detailed. You're exploring Pathos 2, an underwater facility at the bottom of the Atlantic, and the crushing pressure of the ocean is a character in itself. But the horror here isn't just jump scares, it's existential. The game deals with the concept of consciousness transfer. You encounter robots that believe they are human. They are screaming for help, trapped in rusted metal bodies, and you have to decide whether to kill them or leave them to suffer. It messes with your head. The underwater sections are terrifyingly murky, and the enemy designs are these biomechanical nightmares that twitch and glitch out. It's a psychological thriller that asks the question, what does it mean to be alive? And the answer is terrifying.
Where can I go from here? She is the key.
If you want something more action-oriented but still absolutely twisted, The Evil Within 2 is mandatory. This game runs on the STEM engine, a modified id Tech 5, and it looks gorgeous on PlayStation. The lighting effects, specifically the way shadows stretch and warp, are some of the best in the genre. What makes this special is how it mixes survival horror with open-world exploration. You are in the town of Union, which is crumbling into a digital void. You can sneak through the streets, scavenging for ammo and weapon parts, or you can go in guns blazing. The creature design is straight-up nightmare fuel. We're talking about the Guardian, a giant pile of body parts with a buzzsaw, and Obscura, a creature made of old camera equipment. The upgrade system is deep, letting you customize Sebastian's skills to fit your playstyle. It's a polished AAA survival horror that feels like a modern Resident Evil 4 on steroids. Let's talk about narrative choice. Until Dawn effectively created the interactive slasher movie genre. It uses the Decima engine, the same tech behind Horizon Zero Dawn, so the facial capture is still some of the best in the industry. You can see the fear in the characters' eyes. You control 8 teenagers trapped in a mountain lodge, and the hook is the butterfly effect. Every decision you make, no matter how small, changes the story. A conversation choice in Chapter 1 can determine who lives or dies in Chapter 10. It's stressful because you know that if you mess up a QTE or miss a hiding spot, that character is gone. Permadeath. The game plays with horror tropes perfectly. The psycho killer, the supernatural monster, the teen drama. It's the ultimate couch co-op horror game to play with friends, screaming at the screen when someone makes a dumb decision. Okay, listen up. I know what you're thinking. Top down? That can't be scary. Darkwood is here to prove you wrong. This is hands down one of the most oppressive atmospheres ever created in a video game. It's a survival horror that respects your intelligence by refusing to hold your hand. The brilliance here is the cone of vision mechanic. You can only see what is directly in front of your character. Everything behind you is pitch black. You hear twigs snapping, doors creaking, and things breathing right behind your neck, but you can't see them until you turn around. And by then, it might be too late. The day-night cycle is brutal. During the day, you scavenge for wood and gasoline. At night, you barricade yourself in a hideout, push heavy furniture against the doors, and pray the generator doesn't run out of fuel. It's primal fear. No jump scares, just pure, suffocating dread.
My name is Daniel Lazarski. I'm an observer.
We are jumping from the woods to a cyberpunk dystopia. Observer System Redux is the definitive way to play this game. It's remastered for PS5 with 4K textures, ray tracing, and HDR that makes the neon-soaked slums of Krakow look absolutely incredible. You play as Daniel Lazarski, voiced by the legendary Rutger Hauer. This was one of his final roles, and he brings this gritty, tired weight to the character that is just perfect. The gameplay hook is neural interrogation. You hack into the minds of dying suspects to solve crimes, but because their brains are dying, the memories are glitching out. You are walking through their nightmares, and the game uses visual artifacts and screen tearing as a horror element. It feels like your own console is malfunctioning. It's a sensory overload of flashing lights and industrial noise that captures the terror of losing your mind to technology. If you liked Blade Runner but wished it was a horror movie, this is it. This indie gem blew up for a reason. The Mortuary Assistant takes the most mundane job on the planet, embalming bodies, and turns it into a nightmare. You are literally just doing your job. Draining blood, sewing jaws shut, pumping in embalming fluid. The mechanics are surprisingly detailed and realistic, but while you are focusing on the clipboard, the game is messing with you. The next-gen feature here is the procedural haunting system. The scares are randomized. One playthrough, you might see a shadow in the hallway. The next, a demon might be standing right behind you when you look in the mirror. You can't memorize the scares. You have to identify which body is possessed by looking for subtle signs, twitches, new markings, or the corpse literally smiling at you. It's pure anxiety because you never know when the game is going to strike. Frictional Games is back on the list because they reinvented themselves with this one. Amnesia: The Bunker is a semi-open world immersive sim set in the WW1 bunker. The graphics are gritty and realistic, but the star of the show is the dynamic lighting engine. You have a generator that powers the lights in the bunker. It runs on fuel. If the fuel runs out, the lights go out. And when the lights go out, the beast comes out. This monster is fully unscripted. It travels through the walls and reacts to sound. If you sprint, it hears you. If you wind up your flashlight, it hears you. You have to physically check how many bullets you have in your revolver. No HUD to save you here. It creates this constant high-stakes loop of, do I have enough fuel to explore this wing, or will I be left in the dark with something that wants to eat me?
Auction. Among the auction items were paintings by, as well as some gold and diamond. Most noteworthy was Miss Hell's precious instant camera, which has finally found a new owner.
If you want photorealism that looks so good it's nauseating, MADiSON is the benchmark. This game was scientifically proven to be the scariest game ever made by a science of scare study, and when you play it, you understand why. It played on the PS5 like a dream, 60 FPS, 4K textures, and lighting that makes every hallway look like a crime scene. The core mechanic revolves around an instant camera. You aren't just taking pictures for fun, you're using the flash to solve puzzles and see into the spirit realm. But the next-gen horror comes from the sound design and the pacing. The demon, Blue Knees, is terrifying. The game constantly builds tension with creaking floorboards and distant weeping, then hits you with a jump scare that is so loud and sudden it feels like a physical punch. It's relentless, it's aggressive, and it looks disturbingly real. Let's be real, we are all still mourning PT. But Visage is the only game that actually picked up that torch and ran with it. This is a psychological horror simulator set in a massive, ever-changing house. The graphics are stunning. The level of detail in the environments, from the peeling wallpaper to the dust motes in the air, is AAA quality. The mechanic that will ruin you is the sanity system. If you stand in the dark for too long, your sanity drops. When your sanity drops, the house starts to mess with you. Light bulbs shatter, doors slam shut, and radios turn on by themselves. It gaslights you. You'll see a figure standing at the end of the hallway, but when you double take, it's gone. You are constantly managing light sources like lighters and pills to stay sane, but resources are limited. It forces you to move into the darkness knowing that the darkness is what kills you. It is pure stress. We are switching aesthetic completely. Signalis is a love letter to the classic PS1 survival horror era. Think Silent Hill meets Ghost in the Shell. But don't let the retro, low-poly look fool you. The atmosphere is suffocating. This is cosmic dread done perfectly. You play as Elster, an android exploring a retro-tech facility where reality is falling apart. The horror comes from the resource scarcity. You have 6 inventory slots. That's it. You have to choose between carrying a gun, ammo, a key item, or a flashlight. Every decision feels life or death. The enemy design is distinct, jerky, glitchy androids that screech at you in static. The story is fragmented and surreal, dealing with memory and identity. It's the kind of game that sticks with you because it's so bleak and stylish. This is the wild card on the list, and trust me, you need to play this blind. On the surface, it looks like a creepy card game. You are trapped in a cabin, playing cards against a shadowy figure whose eyes you can only see in the darkness. But the horror here isn't about jump scares, it's about the wrongness of it all. The atmosphere is thick with dread. The cards talk to you. The cabin has secrets hidden in the shadows. And then the game breaks. I won't spoil it, but this game goes places you will not expect. It messes with the medium of video games itself. It's psychological, it's meta, and it creates this deep, unsettling feeling that you are playing something cursed. It's a masterpiece of atmosphere.
Start believing. We are under attack by I don't know what. You wouldn't believe me even if I tried. Hell, I don't believe it and I was there.
In Sumerian myth, they say the souls of the dead went deep underground to the House of Ashes.
If you want a creature feature that feels like Aliens meets The Descent, this is it. Supermassive Games refined their formula here. You control a special forces unit trapped in an ancient Sumerian temple during the Iraq War. The graphics are insane. We're talking near photorealistic facial capture that captures every twitch of fear. But the gameplay hook is the action horror blend. Unlike the other Dark Pictures games, which are slower, this is high octane. You have assault rifles, but they don't help much against vampires that move faster than you can track. The heartbeat QTE mechanics are stressful, and the relationship system actually matters. If two characters hate each other, they might leave each other to die in a critical moment. It's cinematic, it's loud, and it's the best popcorn horror experience on the console.
To feel them pawing at you for release, to hear them pleading, begging. That's true art. That's what you have to be, an artist. I've left my mark on the world.
We are going back to back with Supermassive because this is a Season 1 finale and they overhauled the engine for this one. This is pure Saw vibes. You're trapped in a replica of H.H. Holmes' murder castle. The next gen upgrade here is the movement system. Finally, you aren't just walking slowly. You can run, jump, climb, and hide. They added character-specific inventory so the audio guy can use his microphone to hear through walls, and the photographer can use her camera flash to light up dark rooms. The deaths are gruesome. We're talking intricate mechanical traps that you have to solve in seconds or watch your character get crushed. It's brutal, it's gore-heavy, and it feels like playing through a high-budget slasher movie.
Mr. Farber. Good. Time to play detective.
This is the sleeper hit of the generation. Song of Horror looks like a classic fixed camera game from the 90s, but underneath, it's running one of the most advanced AI systems in horror gaming. The antagonist is the Presence, an adaptive AI that learns how you play. If you run everywhere, it starts setting traps in the doorways. If you hide in closets too often, it starts checking them. You can't cheese it. And the stakes? Permadeath. You have a roster of characters. If Daniel dies, he is dead forever. You have to pick a new character, go back to the location, and find his body to get your gear back. It adds a layer of genuine fear to every encounter because you know there are no checkpoints to save you. Do not let the art style fool you. This game is terrifying. Little Nightmares 2 is a masterclass in environmental storytelling. There is no dialogue, no text logs, just pure visual dread. You play as Mono, navigating a distorted, rotting city. The horror comes from the scale. You are tiny and everything else is massive and grotesque. The standout moment is the Teacher, a monster with a neck that stretches endlessly like a snake. The way the physics engine handles her movement, knocking over jars and books as she hunts you through the vents, is nightmare fuel. The sound design is incredible, using silence and amplified ambient noise to make you feel completely isolated. It's a 2.5D platformer that is scarier than most first-person shooters. We are shifting gears to what the internet calls cozy horror, but don't let that fool you. Dredge is a masterclass in atmosphere. By day, it's a relaxing fishing simulator. You pilot your little trawler, catch cod, sell them to the fishmonger, and upgrade your engine. It feels safe. It feels satisfying. But then the sun goes down and the fog rolls in. The mechanic that sells this is the panic meter. As it gets dark, your character starts to hallucinate. You see rocks that aren't there, rocks that will tear your hull open. You see other boats that turn into giant anglerfish monsters when you get close. The aberrations you catch, mutated fish with 3 eyes or bursting chests, are disgusting. It's Lovecraftian horror disguised as a fishing game, and that contrast makes the scares hit so much harder. You are alone on the open ocean, and something massive is swimming underneath you. If you want something that looks like it belongs on a cursed floppy disk from 1987, play World of Horror. This is a cosmic horror RPG that wears its influences on its sleeve, specifically the manga of Junji Ito and the writing of H.P. Lovecraft. The art style is 1-bit, just black and white pixels, but the imagery is so disturbing it makes modern AAA games look tame. We're talking about women with scissors for faces, rituals that require you to sacrifice your own stats, and gods waking up to devour reality. The gameplay is a roguelite. Every run is different. You investigate mysteries in a Japanese seaside town, fighting turn-based battles against eldritch horrors. It's tough. It's unforgiving, and the text descriptions are genuinely nauseating. It proves that you don't need 4K graphics to be terrified. You just need a strong art direction and a twisted imagination.
Be careful. They'll be looking for you.
We have to end with the king, the game that saved the franchise. Resident Evil 7 didn't just go back to horror, it reinvented it by switching to the first-person perspective. This runs on the RE engine, and the photogrammetry used for the Baker family mansion is disgusting. The rotting food, the mold on the walls, the water damage, you can practically smell this house. But the real reason this is the ultimate midnight game? PlayStation VR. If you have a headset, this is mandatory. Playing RE7 in VR isn't just scary, it's traumatic. When Jack Baker smashes through a wall, he is in your face. When you are crawling through the basement, you have to physically lean around corners. It removes the safety of the TV screen. You are in the house. The pacing is perfect, starting with a slow burn and ending with an explosive finale. It is the definitive survival horror experience of the modern era.